What do you think about your two rookies that you drafted?
They're doing a good job. Being in week three of this phase three, they're starting to get acclimated, starting to get a little bit more comfortable with the calls, starting to take command of the defense, communication, alignment. That's the biggest thing with young guys coming in is just their ability to get aligned and communicate. They're oftentimes concerned with obviously what their job is, but in this defense they have to understand the big picture and what everybody's doing around them so that they can understand where they need to fit in the puzzle, so to speak.
How about the two guys you inherited? I mean, the two starters, Joe and Christian. How much of a transition is it? How different are the roles going to be this year than they were the past couple of years?
Well, the system is different, and the verbiage is a little bit different. So, they'll be asked to do some different things, but for the most part, they're playing in the positions that they're accustomed to playing in. I think they've done a fantastic job in getting acclimated to the defense, communicating. And they're really kind of spearheading, the front and the back end from a standpoint of orchestrating things, and they've done a real good job. So we ask our linebackers to be very vocal in this defense. Obviously, the defense is set up for those guys to be active and make plays and get production, plays on the ball, tackles, things of that nature, and they've done a really good job up to this point.
When you look at the
sorry.
the film of last year, I assume that you did. What did you see where the linebacking had to get a little better?
Well, I think, first and foremost, we talk about physicality. Being physical at the point of attack is extremely important. And then the tackling aspect of it, being able to finish, create negative plays on first and second down so that we can get into third down situations that are more advantageous for us as a defense. So, overall just tackling and then physicality at the point of attack.
And then the two guys you drafted, how do you think they'll help you do that?
Well, I think they're both physical football players, both smart, intelligent. They play with their hair on fire. So those guys run to the ball, and I believe that once we get the pads on, we'll see a little bit more of really what they're capable of doing.
Shower played every snap this week, I think 21 games in a row. Is that something you're fine with if that continues to happen?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. The linebackers that I've been around and coached over the years, for the most part, that's what they do. The linebackers typically don't come off the field very much, and I think as the field general or quarterback of the defense, I believe it's vital that the Mike linebackers playing as much as they have.
We've kind of seen Kirksey since he came in the league play all over the place in the linebacking core. I mean, do you have a set spot for him? Do you like that versatility?
I do like the versatility. Again, we're gonna ask our linebackers to play multiple roles for us in this defense. There's times you'll see him off the ball. There's times you'll see him on the ball. So I think having that versatility is something that we like in this system. I also believe that whether you're a Sam, traditional Sam, Mike, or Will linebacker, you're all interchangeable. So there's times when Kirko is lined up in a traditional Will linebacker spot, but based on the defensive call, he may be aligned in where the Mike linebacker is. So I think it's just all predicated off of calls.
We've also seen Genard Avery working a lot with the D linemen when we've been out here. But do you still consider him a part of your group? And can he play a traditional linebacker?
Very much so. He's still a young player. He's still getting acclimated to playing off the ball. Obviously, his comfort level when he came out of Memphis was on the line of scrimmage, predominantly rushing the passer. So our job as coaches is to really try to put our players in the best position possible, positions that they're comfortable in and advantageous so that we can get the production out of them. And as we continue to grow within this system in the defense, you'll start to see guys continue to flourish and get more comfortable playing in different roles.
How long have you known Steve?
We've been together for 7 years now.
How would you describe him as a coordinator guy, kind of running everything, and his defense, kind of the tenets of his philosophy?
Well, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to try to create negative plays on first and second down. He's an intense individual. The attention to detail will be there within the system. Fundamentals and technique, the same things that we're preaching, here in May and June, we're going to still be preaching in December and January. So the philosophy doesn't change. The fundamentals and technique will be the core values that we believe in and preaching, running to the ball, being physical and tackling.
When you talk about running the ball, I think about making tackles close to the line of scrimmage. Because you could lead a team in tackles, but if that team's getting 5 yards of carry, it doesn't matter to it.
No question. When we talk about running to the ball, that incorporates a lot of different facets. Linebackers playing downhill, defensive line coming off the ball, defensive backs breaking on the football. But running to the ball, typically when you have 11 hats getting to the ball, good things happen, even if it is 5 or 7 yards downfield, because there's an opportunity to hopefully create a turnover. So more hats you get to the ball, there's more opportunity for turnovers.
But I guess then the question is, how do you get, what do you do to get your linebackers or whoever to make tackles close to the line? Because 4.7 yards of carry these guys gave up last year. You probably wouldn't be happy with that, would you?
No, we wouldn't be happy with that. Like I said, the core fundamental in the linebacker room is playing downhill. So meaning we can't play lateral on the line of scrimmage. We need to press our gaps and basically take double teams off of the defensive linemen to create one-on-one matchups, and that's where you start to see the minimal gains in terms of the run game. So we need to play downhill first and foremost.
Missed tackles have been an issue. Until the pads come on, what can you do to address that?
We work on it every day, and I know that sounds kind of strange, but we do work on tackling every single day in terms of our angles, taking proper leverage on the ball, angles to the ball, different things of that nature. So when we're out here on the field, those are the things that we're working on, and in the film room, we correct those things in terms of our angles, pursuits, leveraging the football. Those are how we have to tackle now with no pads on. Obviously, when the pads come on, then it's a whole different ball game, but still we're incorporating the angles and the leverage, because to me, tackling is a want to, number one, and number two, it's taking great angles to the football. And if you do that and you run to the ball, then that's where you become a great defense.
Versatility is a plus and probably a necessity, but with the rookies, do you want them to learn one position first and then go?
Well, we start them out in that role, but again, those roles change based on the defensive call. So yes, as a young player coming in, I understand that sometimes it's a lot on their plate to kind of have a feel and understanding of exactly what we're asking them to do. But ultimately, yes, we want them to be able to play multiple positions, because the more you can do, obviously, that enhances your chances of playing sooner.
Coach, what can defenses do to try to slow down, combat, address, just all the spread, the air raid, and the college game that has filtered up now?
Yeah. I think what you're seeing is a lot of hybrid type second level players that were safeties that are playing linebacker. Linebackers that have the ability to rush the passer. Obviously, you have to. It's a horizontal game, as much as it has been a vertical game traditionally. But it's a horizontal game, so you have to cover 53 in the third, and that is a challenge. That is a challenge, especially when you have a quarterback, who plays like a Houdini and is capable of making people miss in space. So it is a challenge, but it's trying to get as much speed on the field as possible, really, and then obviously being able to protect yourself horizontally. That's the biggest issue.
And when you look at a guy like Lamar Jackson in
Yeah,
the division,
no doubt.
do you guys start spending some time on that even now? Like, what do you do with
Yeah.
a guy like that?
Yeah, obviously we always pay close attention to the opponents in our division in particular. We know he has a special skill set, and he creates, extra gaps when he's running with the ball and doing things like that, and he's improving I'm sure every day as a passer as well. So obviously that is a challenge, and that's something that, we have to keep close eye on. Yes.
I know it's early and you guys haven't even put pads on yet, but how would you describe kind of the battle for that third starting spot? Is it wide open? I mean, is anybody taking a step forward?
It is wide open, and to answer the previous question, some of the things we do aren't traditional 4-3 with 3 linebackers in the game because of the spread out. So when you look at how the NFL is kind of morphed a little bit, you see a lot of 11 personnel, 3 wideouts, 1 tight end, 1 back. So there's more DBs in the game than there are linebackers at times. So that's part of it. It's based on really the offensive personnel and what they're predicated on.
What do you like about Avery's skill set out there?
Well, he plays with his hair on fire. He plays fast. His effort is relentless. He's physical at the point of attack. So, I mean, those are the things, the intrinsic things that he brings to the table, that he brings to this defense, just his overall ability and his willingness and pursuit to get to the football. And he's a pretty good pass rusher as well.